It is Monday, June 26, 2017. We have 15 minutes until the bell. Account value is 124K and a little something. Today we bought back LabU, the leveraged bullish ETF on biotech. And here is the underlying ETF XBI. And we bought LabU when XBI was somewhere here. So we almost caught the bottom. So that was pretty lucky, but it was not random. And I want to explain why we were confident to pull the trigger here, because the market gave us a couple of tells. And that is why I brought up the Nasdaq 100 here on the left. So this is the open. We make a high, we get gap higher, and then we see some serious selling, right? More than 1% of selling. And it bottoms out here at 5:35-ish or so my time. And but during this time there was no real attempt to rally. If we look what happened at the same time in XBI, there were multiple attempts for XBI to rally, and while this one was making new lows, it tried to hang in there. So that was one of the tells that there was support. People wanted to get into biotech on the cheap. As far as timing was concerned, there were a couple of things that helped me figure it out. One was obviously that 5780 level. I've been talking about that level for quite some time, because this is here 5780, then we tried it here, and the last few days we hovered around it. And once we could not close this and make new highs and started to tank, and we couldn't hold 5800, it was pretty obvious that 5780 would be the next level. And then I just wanted to know, are we going to hold this level or are we going to knife through that? And the VIX helped me figuring it out. I liked it that we stopped here. That was a good tell. But let me bring up the VIX here on the right. What made me comfortable pulling the trigger is looking at the VIX at the same time. And when we look at the time here, this is 506. Let's see where 506 is on the VIX. That is here. So the VIX spiked and reversed, and the Nasdaq made a new low, but the VIX was already on the way down. To make a long story longer, it was the price action of XBI relative to tech, how the VIX behaved when the Nasdaq reached that critical level of 5780. That is what gave me the confidence to pull the trigger and buy the dip. Let's take a look at gold. I have gold futures on the left, down by 11.5 bucks, and I have junior gold miners here, GDXJ, down by just 1.23%, and I think that is relative strength, because it's a big move for gold, and miners clearly want to go higher relative to what gold is doing. I just don't know if gold wants to go higher. So I think the risk reward buying dips in LabU is still a whole lot better than trying to figure out where JNUG or JDAS want to go. So I will be staying away from gold, at least for the time being. Let's take a look at semiconductors. I have the SOX here, and at the open it looked like it wanted to break out of this range that we've been stuck in for quite some time, but it got rejected hard, and now we are right in the middle of that range, and it is uninvestable for now, but I'm going to keep a close eye on it because I believe it is a secular bull market. The question is just, how much sector rotation do we have to see until money moves back into chip stocks? But for the remainder of the week, I believe buying dips in LabU is the play, because we have the end of the month, end of the quarter, and lots of hedge funds then want to open their books and tell everybody how smart they are. Hey, we have been long biotech the entire time, so they buy it the last few days before they have to actually show what they own. So this window dressing, I believe, will put a floor under biotech this week, but that buying pressure will probably be gone next week. I'm not saying we should be shorting biotech next week, but there will probably be sector rotation again out of biotech into something else. We have to be cognizant of that and be open to the idea to buy into different sectors next week. Before I wrap it up, let's take a look at Tesla. The last 3 days we battled with 385. We could not do it. Today we made actually a new high, but it didn't last very long. We sold off with the Nasdaq and couldn't recover, and I would not be surprised if we need to test 370-ish. Then it becomes very buyable. The question is, would it be the best use of capital? And that is what I'm not sure. I'm really liking buying dips in LabVIEW for now, so that's what we are going to do until further notice. In closing, let's take a look at the S&P future. What is happening here? A whole lot of nothing. I mean, we tried to break out, okay, it didn't work. I don't know if you would call this a bearish engulfing or... it doesn't really matter. We are back into this range. We are stuck. We are not going anywhere. And that is why we need to take advantage of the variance the market gives us. We will be buying dips, selling rips, because the market is not trending, but different sectors are trending, with biotech clearly being the strongest sector out there, at least for now. Before I wrap it up, I just want to remind everybody, herd alerts will no longer be free come next week. Also, the daily recap videos will only be available for paying members. So, with that being said, this is it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another recap.